Hi friends, welcome to or welcome back to the channel Jane Reads. My name is Jeanette, and as promised quite a while ago, I am going to share what my series spreadsheet looks like, how I track how many series I'm reading, what series I'm in the middle of, and what series I want to start or have completed in the year. So in 2026 is my current spreadsheet. I have kept a series spreadsheet for a number of years, but it has expanded and changed over the years until I got to something that I really like. This will look very similar to Krista from Books and Jans, a little bit because I had one very similar to hers. And then when I saw hers, it was like, oh, I should add that column. So I'm going to show you my spreadsheet from the beginning of 2025, just very quickly. And then I will come to my 2026 and to show you kind of how it expanded just throughout 2025. And to what I've got now that I really like now is working. I started this the middle of 2025, I think, and I've continued into 2026. So this series spreadsheet is up to date as of March the 10th. So let's go over to my computer and I will walk you through the spreadsheet. Okay, so this is what the beginning of 2025, this is what my spreadsheet looked like. I had my series overview where I could see how many series there were, I was up to date in, how many I was currently reading, what I DNF'd, kind of my percentage of them, and how many books total, how many did I read, and how many do I need to read. My total number of series on this spreadsheet is 66, but I had not started 11, and I had 55 in progress, I guess. I'm not really sure. So then I have the series name of them, the author, how many books were in the series, my status, was it completed or in progress, how many have I read, how many did I need to read, kind of a progress bar, and then I would check if I was up to date, if I was going to DNF it, or if I had not started it. Then on the next, so this was all this. Then the next spreadsheet had every single book in a series. I will talk about this a little bit more because I've kept this side of it. So this is what it looked like. Then this is a series by a particular author. Then I had a sheet for series that were multiple authors. Then once I completed a series on here, I took them off of here and moved them over to another sheet for completed series. Then if I decided to DNF a series, I took it off the series TBR and moved it over here onto my DNF spreadsheet. So this is what I was using for 23, 24, 25, very similar. Then during 2025, I changed and went to this, where it is all on one sheet. Okay, so I have status. So then I have a category for drop downs for the status. Is the series in progress? Am I in progress of it? Doesn't mean is a series in progress. It's am I in progress of reading it? Am I caught up on the series? Have I finished the series? Have I decided to DNF the series? Or I haven't even touched the series yet. So this is my drop down thing. So then on here, how many series do I have on this spreadsheet? I have 51 series on this spreadsheet. I will color the books with different colors based on am I going to DNF it? I'm not interested in continuing the series. Did I read it before 2022? I read it in 2022, I read it in 2023, I read it in 2024, read it in 2025, and read in 2026. So this is my cheat sheet so I know what the colors are. So the little red triangle is so I know the color number when I need to change it. Then I have, if the title is underlined, it means I own the book. If the title is in italics, it means it's been announced, but it's not released yet. Then here, if the title is in this dark green with white font, it means that series is fully released. If the series is white with black font, it means there's more books to come. They either haven't been announced yet, or they have been announced and I just haven't read them, or I can't read them yet. Okay, so I like to see the book title. That is the best way for me to track if I've read it or not, rather than I've read up to book number 3. But what was book number 3? So I need the book title. So this series, for example, The Secrets of Kincaid by Angela Carl, is a romantic suspense series, and I am caught up in it. It is white because I have not read any of it in 2026. You'll see down here, this has green because I have read some of it in 2026. We'll get to that in a minute. Okay, so I'm caught up in this series. There are currently 2 books released. I have read both of them, which means I'm 100% because I have nothing left to read yet. Read book 1 in 2024. I read book 2 in 2025. And book 3 has been announced, but it's not released yet. And then this goes over all the way until, right? So Hope Harbor, for example, has 11 books currently out. I've read up to book 11, and book 12, book 12 has been announced, but it is not released yet. And because it's not released, that is still 11 books out in the series. So I'm 100%. As soon as that book gets released, then this will change. Okay, next series is Checking Out Love by Sarah Monzon. It's another contemporary romance. There are currently 2 books out. 3rd book has been announced, Bookmarked for Love, and honestly, I don't know if I'm interested in it. Book 1 and 2 have both been 3-star books for me, I think. So I'm undecided. I've left it here, but I may DNF the series. I'm not sure yet. Next series that I'm caught up in is Danny Petrie's Jeopardy Falls. Again, 2 books have been released. The 3rd book has been announced, but it is not out. So I'm currently completely caught up. Next series is Once Upon a Time in Texas by Karen Whittemire. This is historical romance. It's a fairy tale retelling series. Only 1 book has been released, but she has indicated that it would be a series, but there's been no information. So that's why right now it's 1. Okay, now we move, because right now I have this series spreadsheet sorted by caught up, finished, in progress, and then author. So, series I have finished this year is Gossamer Falls by Lynn H. Blackburn. This is a romantic suspense series. There are 3 books. As you can see, I read books 1 and 2 in 2025, and I own book 1 and 2. I have read book 3, but I do not own it, but I have read it. Then Women of Midtown is another series that I just completed earlier this month, like a few days ago. And it is by Elizabeth Camden. It's a historical romance. There are 3 books. And I have read all 3 books this year. Yay for binging a series. Sort of. Well, I didn't read them back to back. I read books 1 and 2 back to back, and then I finally got to book 3, but yeah. Holiday Brides by Shanna Hatfield is another series that I have completed this year. There's 5 books in the series. I've read all 5. It is contemporary romance. Then Liz Johnson's Men of Valor series is another series I have completed this year. You'll see I was very sporadic when I read this. So these first 2 books I read prior to 2022. Then I read the next 2 in 2023. Then I read book number 5 in 2025. And I just read book number 6. But I finally completed the series. It is a romantic suspense. Okay, now we get into the series that I am in progress in. So as you'll see here, these are white, and then this one is green, which is the 2026 color. So it means I've read something from this series in 2026 if there is green in this first column. Okay, so we have Snow Valley by Cindy Rowland Anderson. There are currently 5 books in the series. I don't expect any more to be released. I've only read book 1, according to the spreadsheet. I'm pretty sure I've read a couple others, but years ago, and I kind of want to go back and read them in order. It is a contemporary romance. Then we have Vintage National Parks by Karen Barnett. There's 3 books in the series. It is a historical romance. I read book 1 in 2025, and there are 2 more books to read. Then the next series is The Fog Lake Suspense by Christy Barrett. It is a romantic suspense. There are 7 books in the series. I've only read book 1, and that was way back in 2023. Someday I will continue the series. Also by Christy Barrett, I have Saltwater Cowboys, which is another romantic suspense. There are 6 books in this series. Again, I've only read book 1 in 2024. And the next suspense one is Suncoast Chronicles by Terry Blackstock. This is a reread series for me, but because I want to reread the whole series, it is on here. I have read book 1 earlier this year. There are 4 books, so I have 3 remaining. Another suspense is Natchez Trace Park Rangers by Patricia Bradley. There are 4 books. I have read 1. I do have book 2 on my TBR for March. Okay, then we have another Elizabeth Campton series. I don't know why I read the other series first when I'd already started this series, but it happened. And this series is The Blackstone Legacy. There are 3 books. I've read 1 book last year. Then we have the Annie Pedersen series by Colleen Coble. It is a romantic suspense, and I've read 1 of the 3 books. Then we have the Drew Farthering Mysteries by Juliana Deering. There is 6 books in this series. I have read 4 of them, so I have 2 remaining. This is historical mystery set in 1930s in England. Next one is Wrangler's Corner by Lynette Eason. There are 7 books in this series. I've only read 3, so there's still 4 books remaining. Then the Hudson House Holiday series by Shanna Hatfield. This is a romance series, starts historical, but as the series goes on, you're following a generation of families, so eventually it will become contemporary. Pretty sure in A Christmas Hope it's more of a contemporary timeline, which is book 4. I've read 2 of the 4 books. Read 1 in 2024 and 1 in 2025. Another Shanna Hatfield is Love on the Beach, another contemporary suspense. I think this is a mystery series, I think. I read book 1 in 2024. There's 3 books. I'm undecided whether I'm going to continue. I really like Shanna Hatfield's writing. I just didn't connect with this series in book 1 as much as I have with other series. Speaking of Shanna Hatfield, another series is Rodeo Romance, which is 14 books in this series currently. She tends to come out with 1 book every Christmas, so there might be another one next year, or in December, November, we'll see. I have read up to book 11, so I have 3 books remaining. Again, this is a series that I have a book on my March TBR from. The next one is The Georgia Coast Romance by Liz Johnson. This is a contemporary romance. There are 3 books in it. This is another reread series for me. I read this when it was first released, and I reread book 1 in 2025, and I want to continue with my reread through it. Then we have Canadian Crossings by Susan Ann Mason. It's another 3-book series. It is historical fiction set in Canada. I've read book 1, I own book 2, and I need to read 2 and 3. Then we go romantic suspense. We have The Elements of Danger. Oh, this should be 2 because it's now released. So we have The Elements of Danger by Dana Mentick. This is a romantic suspense. This is her newest series. So I have read book 1 when it was released last year, and book 2 was just released earlier this month. Okay, now because it's sorted by alphabetical, the next 4 series are all multiple author series. So instead of having an author's name, I have multiple authors. And these are series that, 3 of the 4, I'll talk about the one that's different, do not have to be read in order because they're more of a companion, but I want to track which books I've read, so that's why they're in the series spreadsheet. So the first one is Doors to the Past, which is a historical or a dual timeline. No, it tends to be a dual timeline series with one being historical and one some other year. Might be still historical or might be more present day. It all depends on the book. There are 12 books in this series, and I have read 4 of them, and very random years, as you can see. Then the next one is The Heroines of World War II, which is also multiple authors. There are 12 books in the series, and I've only read books. But I do want to read them. This is another historical. Okay, then the True Blue K9 Unit. This is a love-inspired romantic suspense series. I have only read book 1. There are 9 books in this series, and so I have 8 remaining. This is a series that does need to be read in order. There is a mystery that continues throughout the series from each book to each book, and I really enjoyed book 1, so I'm very interested to see how, with multiple authors, how that continuing storyline kind of develops and happens. So we'll see. I'm very interested in this one. And the last series by multiple authors is True Colors. It is a historical suspense series. Historical. There are 12 books in this series, and I have read 4 of them. And as you can see, I have read them out of order. But they do not carry over the storylines at all. Okay, another historical fiction series is the Emmy Lake Chronicles by A.J. Pierce. There are currently 4 books out. I don't know if there will be a book 5 or not. I haven't heard anything. I've read 3 of them, so I just have 1 book remaining. Why am I missing? It's like my title. There we go. Didn't have deer in there. Okay. The next series, Wings of Glory by Sarah Sundin, is another historical. This is another reread series for me. There are 3 books, and I've reread books 1 and 2, so I just have book 3 left. Then we have the Edwardian Brides by Carrie Taransky. This is another 3-book series. I read book 1. It wasn't a favorite, so I haven't decided whether I'm going to continue the series. I do not own book 2 and book 3, so that will, if I get them. So this is not a priority book series for me as of right now. Okay, another suspense, The Crisis Rescue Team by Darlene L. Turner. This is a 6-book series. I've read 5, and as you can see, I've totally read them out of order. I didn't realize it was a series when I was reading it, and I've really read it out of order. The first book I read in 2022, book 2 I read in 2025, book 3 and 4 I read in 2024. I haven't read book 5, and book 6 I read in 2025. Yeah, I don't know. Okay. The next series is the Psalm 23 Mysteries by Debbie Begay. This is a 23-book series. I have read up to book 19. However, I don't have any books here. Oh, I have book 19 marked as read. Oh, what happened there? So I have book 19, Follow Me, marked as read in, so green is 2023. Yes. But this is a series where the storyline continues from book 1 all the way through. We're following the same characters. And while each book has its own little mystery that is happening, there's also a continuing storyline throughout. So because it's been 2023, so it's been a number of years since I read book 19, and it's been quite a while since I read book 1. So I want, now that all 23 books are released, I want to go back and start the series from beginning and read it through, kind of binge the series. We'll see how much that happens, but that is the plan. So that's why these are not marked with any colors right now, because I have read them, but I want to reread them. Okay, the next series is a contemporary romance, and that is The Bradford Sisters by Becky Wade. Now, I have that it's 5 books. It is 3 full-length books with 2 novellas. So you'll see here, instead of book 1, I have Then Came You as the prequel novella, so 0.5. Then I have True to You, which is book 1. Falling for You is book 2. The novella, Because of You, goes in between books 2 and book 3. And then book 3 is Sweet on You. So that's why it's showing that there's 5 books, and I have them marked so I know. Like, this isn't book Sweet on You is not really book 5, it's book 3. This is another reread series for me, other than I have never read Because of You. I have a thing about novellas, and I avoided them. But if I want to read Becky Wages Zero, I need to read her novellas. Okay, so then the next series is a contemporary romance. I think it's more of a women's fiction. And that is Paper Hearts by Courtney Walsh. This is another rereads series for me. I reread book 1 in February, so I just need to read book 2, and it is on my March TBR, so hopefully. Okay, now we get into all the series that I have not yet started, that I own at least one book in the series, maybe more. So I have Among the Innocent by Mary Alford. This is a romantic suspense. I have book 1, Among the Innocent. Then we have Love Along the Wires by Jennifer Delamere. This is a historical fiction. There are 3 books in the series, and I own all 3 books. And Deadly Reunions by Lynette Eason. It is a romantic suspense series. This is a series I want to reread. I have read this originally, but I want to reread it, and I own all 3 books. Harbored in Crow's Nest by Danielle Grandadini. I'm not really sure. There are 6 books in this series, and I own the first 2 books. I'm pretty sure it's a historical series. I've never tried this author, so we'll see. I own books 1 and 2, so I'll read those 2, and then I'll decide whether I'm continuing the series or not. Then we have Shanahan. Why do I have such a problem with this series name? I don't know how to exactly pronounce it. The Shanahan Match by Jody Headland. This is a 4-book series, and I own all 4 books. It is historical romance, I'm pretty sure. I haven't even started the series, as you can see. Then we have The Quantico Files by Nancy Mel. This is a romantic suspense, 3-book series. I own book 1. Then we have the Gabrielle Meyer Timeless series. According to the spreadsheet, it's 6 books. Another book might have been released already, but I haven't started the series. And I do own book 1 on my Kindle, so I will read it and see whether I'm going to continue the series or not. Then we have Regency Brides by Carolyn Miller. This is historical. There are 3 books in this series, and I own books 1 and book 2. We have Gwen Macy by Carrie Stewart Parks. This is a romantic suspense series that is 4 books. I own books 1, book 2, and book 4. I just don't have book 3, but I haven't even started the series. In Search of a Prince by Tony Shiloh. I think this is a contemporary romance. It is a duology. I own both books. Haven't read any of them. Echoes of the Past by Liz Tolsma. This is a 3-book series. It is historical. I own book 1 and book 2 and haven't read any of them. Then we have another romantic suspense, The National Park Protectors by Darlene L. Turner. It is currently a 2-book series, but book 3 has been announced, and I own book 1, and it's on my March TBR. So if all goes well, I will be starting this month. Then we have another Becky Wade series, The Porter Family. I have read this series, except for the novella. Theme here? Yeah. So I have it down as a 5-book series. It is 4 full-length books with 1 novella. So you'll see here that I have the proposal marked as 3.5, and then her one and only is on the book 5 column, but it's actually book 4. And 2 series left. So we have The Snap Agency by Natalie Walters, romantic suspense. Again, I own all 3 books of this series and haven't even started the series. And the last series is The Forge Brothers Security by Kendra Warden. I'm pretty sure it's another romantic suspense. There are 3 books released, and book 4 has been announced. Maybe book 4 is out by this time. I'm not really sure, but I own book 1. Okay, so, and these ones are all marked not started because I haven't started any of them. So, my series stats. I have 27 series in progress. That's a lot. But I have 5 series caught up. I have finished 4 this year. I have not decided to DNF any yet this year. And I have 15 series on the spreadsheet that I have not started yet. So that's a total of 51 series on this spreadsheet. But I really have 27 in progress and maybe 5 more if the other books are announced. So we'll see. But I've completed 4 series this year, so that's great. So that everything is on one page, and I really like that. So that is my series spreadsheet, how I track how many series I am in the middle of, or how many I've completed this year, or how many I've started this year. And so that is all my series information. Now, as of March the 10th, I am sitting at 27 series currently in progress. However, looking at my March TBR, I will be starting one series. If I read all the books on my March TBR, I will be starting another series, but I will also complete another series, so that will keep it at the same number, hopefully. And I will make progress in 2 other series. So I have 4 books on my March TBR that are in a series somewhere. So we'll see how much that number changes, and I will do a series check-in at some point later this year. I don't know exactly when, but at some point there will be a series check-in to see where am I. Can I get my series number down? Or is my series going to go up? Because as you saw, I have 15 series where I own at least book 1 of the series that I have not even started yet. So we'll see what happens. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video today. And if you have any questions, leave them in the comments and I will be sure to answer you. Have a great day. Bye.